Hello, everybody, and welcome to one of the most exciting episodes we've ever done of a Truck on Tuesday on Wednesday. Okay, we have a really exciting crew here today. Last night, the Scouts BSA National Youth Council sent a small delegation to the National Executive Board meeting of Scouting America. These youth spoke to the entire board and represented youth voices in the movement, gave highs and lows and everything in between. We're going to talk about all that and more as we go live with them. Over with Aaron.
Thank you so much, Gina. Appreciate that. I am so honored to be here, joined by 5 members of the Scouts BSA National Youth Council. I'm going to introduce them real quick. Over here on my far left, on your right, we have Sophia, we have Zoe, we have Cooper, and in our back row here, we have JJ and Aiden. Thank you guys so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. It's been kind of a whirlwind tour for these folks. They left their homes from all different parts of the country, I think, right? Early yesterday morning, flew down here to Dallas and spoke with the National Executive Board, the Scouting America National Executive Board, 40-something members, I think.
Yes.
Close to 50 members. And these 5 brave young people were selected from the Scouts BSA National Youth Council to share their opinions and their views on Scouting America, on Scouts BSA, right? The future of the program, what they like about it. Maybe they mentioned some things that they thought could be adjusted, things like that. We're going to talk with them a little bit today. They've got to get on a flight here in not too long and head back home. But Sophia, let's start with you. First of all, thank you for joining us today. How old are you, Sophia?
I'm 14.
Sophia is 14 years old. She flew in from
Philadelphia,
the home of the champion Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
Sophia's in an especially good mood today, in case you're wondering why.
Yeah.
Sophia, how did it go yesterday? How was your trip? Tell me about it.
Oh, it went absolutely amazing yesterday. We all spoke so well. And even in times where we had to share some stories and some thoughts that weren't so great for the board to hear because it was more negative things, it was good. And it was good that they were able to hear it because that makes sure that our program is able to be improved and that things are able to get better.
Yeah, I mean, when you ask people for their honest opinion, you're going to get their honest opinion amazingly. So good job, Sophia. Zoe, you're from New Orleans. We spoke earlier. Welcome to Dallas. Tell me about your experience. What do you think?
I believe that this experience is life-changing. I love being able to talk one-on-one with so many board members and hear about their past experiences in scouting and how scouting has changed their entire life.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Cooper, question for you. You are from?
North Carolina.
Cooper's from North Carolina. What town?
Greensboro.
Very, very cool. Welcome, Cooper. So there are 39 total members of the National Youth Council. First of all, by the way, the Scouts BSA National Youth Council consists of Scouts BSA members from across the country who were selected to sort of serve as the youth leadership team there. There's a Scouts BSA committee. Those are the stuffy old grouchy adults. We have the Scouts BSA National Youth Council, who are the much more cooler and relaxed youth side of that leadership. Cooper, tell me about your experience on the National Youth Council overall. What has it been like? What have you guys done, and what are your thoughts on it?
So we meet over Zoom once a month on a Sunday, and it's a 2-hour block that we have, and we're all meeting at different times because we all live in different places. And we talk about different problems and things we want to talk about to change scouting and how we can improve it. And we get to break out into these little groups and talk so we can talk more about it with a closer knit group of people, which is really cool. And it's just a really cool experience because it doesn't change just my life, but it also changes everyone else's life in Scouts, which is cool.
That's awesome. Very, very cool. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. The Scouts BSA National Youth Council serves a term, right? It's kind of God and goes with the school year, I think, from the fall to the spring. You just get to serve one term, and then there will be a whole nother group of National Youth Council leaders serving next year. You guys started work this past fall.
Yes.
It continues into the spring. Let me welcome onto the show JJ, who is back here in the corner. JJ, thanks for coming in. Where are you from, JJ?
I'm from Mora, Minnesota.
Awesome. JJ and I met at the National Order of the Arrow event, NOAC, I think, right, last summer.
Yep.
Good to see you. Good to see you again,
Good
sir.
as well.
So like we said, there's 39 members of the National Youth Council. We have 5 here. I think there were a couple of more that were here that couldn't be with us.
Ansel and Violet.
Shout out to Ansel and Violet, who are they headed back home already?
Yeah.
They already headed back home. Like I said, it's been a whirlwind tour for them. So JJ, tell us about the process of being one of these 7 folks who got to speak to the National Executive Board.
Yes, just like the process of how it went yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, so we all flew into Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. We all met each other. Then we split off into our different buddy groups, went and had lunch together just to get to know each other a little bit better. We headed back to our hotel room, kind of hung out for a little while, once again to get to know each other a little bit. Then we had a little debriefing with Gina and Colleen, who were our adult leads for the National Youth Council. They just sat down and talked with us a little bit about how it was going to go for the night. We got to meet some friendly members of the executive board. They were responsible for introducing us to other different members of the board and making sure that we were heard and we were talking with the members of the board as we sat down at dinner. So that was really cool. We got to meet them. We walked over to the meeting room and we were introduced to other members of the board. I was introduced to the chief legal officer and the chief scout executive, Roger Crone. And we sat down and had dinner, enjoyed some good conversation. Then we went up on stage and answered some questions for about good solid hour, I'd say.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So they got to meet some of the bigwigs, as you can tell. Very, very cool experience. We're very excited as scouts, as a Scouting America professional. I don't remember this kind of thing happening. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of an exciting moment for us. We're all very proud to have you there. Behind me here is Aiden. Aiden, where are you from?
From Riverside, California.
Aiden is from Riverside, California. Thanks for being here, Aiden. There's a thing we say in Scouts. I don't know if you guys ever heard. It's called be prepared. I don't know. That's just kind of a thing that I like to say. But Aiden, maybe you could talk about how you got prepared for this trip. What did you have to do in advance to be ready for this?
So about a month ago, Colleen and Gina sent out emails to let us know that we were invited to this. And then after that, we had 2 different meetings where we kind of got to know each other and talk about the different questions we would be answering on the board so that we could brainstorm beforehand so that we could bring high quality answers to the board instead of just coming up with stuff on the spot. So it was just a lot of preparation. We wrote down a bunch of bullet points in notebooks and had them out there with us during the meeting to make sure that we hit the key points so that the board has the most accurate information that they could get.
Gotcha. Again, very, very cool. We're so happy to have you guys here. We're visiting with members of the Scouts BSA National Youth Council. They spoke last night in front of the Scouting America National Executive Board. A very, very cool experience. I'll kind of open it up. You guys can, anybody who wants to answer can answer. So from last night at the board meeting, how much of it was like a presentation that you guys gave, and how much of it was you answering questions from them? Anybody wants to answer? Cooper?
So how we did it is Miss Kayleen, she would stand up in front of like on our podium thing, and she would ask the questions and she would say who would be answering them, and then we just went up and answered and talked, and then at the very end we opened it for questions for everyone, and we answered like 4 or 5 questions from board members, and it was really cool.
Zoe or Sophia, either one of you, maybe you guys could give me an idea of just kind of what you said. Can you get kind of a summary of what your message was to the National Executive Board?
Yeah, sure. So I pretty much wanted to provide them with different ideas that I thought could improve policy-wise for the council. And based on my experiences with being in 3 different groups, I wanted to provide as much of my perspective as I could.
Okay, very cool. Sophia?
I would say that it was kind of an even split between, things that need to be improved upon and what we could continue doing because it's working. And I think that it really benefited the board and that they took a lot away from it.
Very, very cool. Let's go back here to JJ again. JJ, how old are you?
I'm 14.
JJ is 14. What is your rank in Scouts?
I'm a Life Scout striving towards Eagle.
JJ is a Life Scout striving towards Eagle. Maybe just tell us about your experience in Scouts BSA overall. You've been in the program 2 or 3 years now, a little bit. Obviously, you're a member of the National Youth Council, so you've got some leadership abilities, some skills. Tell us about your experience in Scouts BSA and in your message to the National Executive Board.
Yeah, so obviously, with everything in life, there are ups and downs to my experience in Scouts BSA. In my unit, I've had some good experiences, but I've also had some bad experiences. I've got to go on some amazing journeys with my unit, such as going to film on Scout Ranch. But namely, leadership within my unit was a struggle. There were a lot of hardships and challenges that I faced. And I took away a lot of good lessons from those, but they were still very difficult to face. And they still have had a profound impact on me, even to this day. Among that, I've also staffed things like National Youth Leadership Training, and I've attended National Order of the Arrow Conference, National Scout Jamboree, and have taken to seek new leadership heights, namely within the Order of the Arrow. So I've had a lot of positive scouting experiences, and I'm very blessed to have had all those opportunities and have met so many amazing people that have had a profound impact on my life.
Very, very cool. Yeah, so the Scouts BSA program, you know, it's youth led, it's guided by adults. And I think, you know, the fact that you guys were allowed to go speak to the national board, kind of a great example of that, right? They let you guys come in and voice your opinions and sort of tell them your thoughts, which is really, really cool. Aiden, I'll ask you, what was your message to the National Executive Board? And maybe you could just tell us about your experience in Scouts BSA and what it's been like.
Yeah, so my main message to the national board was really about membership and how we can be recruiting youth and what we should be doing in scouting itself and how we have to be providing a great experience for scouts so that they want to stay involved and just keep that running, keep making sure that we're providing quality content for scouts to go and do things so that they're excited about scouting. And my scouting experience overall has been great. I am honestly proud to say that my troop, for the most part, has had very few issues throughout my entire time in the troop, and that we have been functioning really well. We always have great adult leaders who are out there and willing to be involved with scouts and making sure that all scouts have a great time and a fun time in scouting.
Awesome. Yeah. You know, I think I can speak for everybody at Scouting America who says that we love our adult volunteers. We love our National Executive Board members. We wouldn't exist without them. They literally make us go. But more important is the opinion of our youth and the experiences of our youth. So I want to thank you all right now for coming into town. This has been a very, very cool experience. I know it's been a busy couple of days. Is everybody exhausted and tired? Everybody kind of ready? Everybody kind of ready to go back home and get in their own beds, I'm sure. Thank you all for joining us today. This has been great. Thank you all for watching this special episode of Trek on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we'll be back with another Trek on Tuesday soon. Until then, thank you all again for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you all for watching. We'll see you later.